like.
Very well, Trevor. Good morning from Narok County, county number 33. A very chilly morning, cloudy a bit, but that does not in any way dampen the spirit here in Narok Stadium. And people began getting into this stadium as early as 5 a.m. And quite a number of people were still out there as early as 3 a.m. Remember last night when we were talking to Lillian Muli, I told her I was speaking to a few people last evening, and they were telling me they would find a way of spending their evening around the stadium just to be sure that as soon as the doors or the gates are open, they will be the first to get into the stadium, because this stadium is rather small compared to what you'd say, let's say, Nyao National Stadium or Kasarani Stadium. And the capacity here, we are told by the organizers, is about 30,000. And that includes the people who will be allowed later on to sit at the main stand once the parade is over and once the entertainment is over. Actually, Trevor, the number of people out there is almost the same amount of people who are in here in the stadium. And as early as about 7 a.m., you could not be able to access the stadium because it was full. But be it as it may, security remains top-notch here and outside the stadium, just to ensure that there is no stampede. Remember the incidents that were witnessed in Machakos some time back when people were agitated and wanted to get into the stadium, yet the organizers were saying the stadium was full. So the situation now being managed to ensure that there is no stampede, and when people will be allowed into the stadium, the main stand or the center stand, once the parade and the entertainment is over, will be allowed in an orderly manner, so that they can be able to listen to the speeches by President Uhuru Kenyatta, his deputy Dr. William Ruto, as well as county governor, county number 33, Narok County, Samuel Tunai. And entertainment continues here as people try to catch up and discuss a bit of what is happening here. Remember, it's been excitement the entire week, actually the last 2 months since the preparations for this ceremony began here in Narok County under the leadership of County Commissioner George Natembea. And so the situation remains calm for now, people being entertained, and the program proper will be kicking in at around 9:30 or thereabout. President Uhuru Kenyatta expected here at about 10:30, 10:40 to lead the nation in marking the 56th Madaraka Day celebrations here in Narok County. So tunataka kusema kitu? Haya, sema kitu, tuambie unaitwa nani na utuambie unaona aje Madaraka huku Narok. Hii microphone takushikia.
Mimi naitwa Joseph Tikani kutoka Loropil. Mimi niko Madaraka. Watu wameingia kwa wingi kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa hii. Watu wamekaa wametulia na kuna amani ya kutosha. Nasema asante sana kwa Citizen.
Okay, na nyinyi kama watu wa Narok mnajivunia nini sana hasa katika haya mambo ya devolution, na uongozi uko namna gani katika kaunti hii yenu?
Kwa wakati huu tumeona maendeleo ni mingi. Tangu wakati tumeanza, rais amesema ataingia katika wilaya hii ya Narok, tumeona kumekuwa na maendeleo. Mambo hatukuwa tunayo, tumeanza kuona kuna mabadiliko. Nataka kusema kuingia kwa rais hapa tumepata mabadiliko ya kutosha.
Okay. Na sasa nyinyi kama viongozi hapa katika mashinani, wananchi wanasema nini kuhusu mambo haya ya patriotism? Kwa sababu kule Nairobi kuna discussion nzuri sana inayoendelea kuhusu vile watu ni kama siku hizi kidogo wamepoteza ule uzalendo, ile patriotism.
In fact, kusema kama Narok tuna kila kabila, kila jamii hapa, tumekuwa na utulivu. Hapa hakuna ukabila hata kidogo. Watu ukiona vile wamechangamika, kuna Wakisii, kuna Wajaluo, kuna Wamasai, hata ujua wetu ni kabila gani. Kwa hivyo hapa tuna uchangamfu hiyo kusema ya kwamba hapa kuna utulivu na amani.
Wacha nikuulize swali lingine moja, kwa sababu wewe kidogo naona umepiga miaka kiasi, sivyo? Ukilinganisha miaka ya hapo awali na miaka hii ambayo tunayo sasa, unaweza kusema nini kuhusu swala hili la uzalendo, patriotism?
Nataka kusema kwa uzalendo kwa saa hii, nataka kusema miaka iliyopita kulikuwa na mambo ya ukabila, uoga kidogo, lakini kwa saa hii tunaona mabadiliko iko ya kutosha. Maana kama barabara zetu za Narok zilikuwa chafu sana miaka ya nyuma, na hata pia ukiangalia uwanja tuko saa hii imekuwa na mabadiliko makubwa, hungekubali kuingia kwa uwanja, lakini leo tunaona tuko Kenya.
Asante sana. Nashukuru mzee wangu. Very good. And that is one of the random people who pass around you, Trevor, and they want to say something relating to their county. That's one of the chiefs here, and he tells me mambo iko sawa sawa. Another person who tells me mambo iko sawa sawa is my colleague Stephen Oleleto, who is also a county resident. and he tells me that we are in his hometown. And so he will be telling us a few things and probably also speak to a few people just to hear what they're saying in relation to these Madaraka Day festivities as we wait for President Uhuru Kenyatta to make his way here and lead the nation in marking 56 years since Kenya attained internal self-rule. Karibu sana Leto, and first of all, you have a responsibility to greet people of Kenya from Narok County in the local language.
Enter Super Porkin from Narok Stadium, where we are expecting to, grace this year's Madaraka Day celebrations.
Very good. And you told us when you came here some time back that we should be in for a few surprises in terms of the Morans and everything else. Is it possible to give us a small hint of what we are expecting in relation to that surprise?
Well, the organizers of this year's Madaraka Day celebrations have been, working some things in public while other cards are putting them under the table, quoting them as presidential surprises for this Madaraka Day celebration in Narok Stadium. One of them being a spectacular display of the traditional Morans right at the middle of the Narok Stadium, where you will get to see the Morans who have been, having their lifestyle in the bush, and you will even see that some of them even.
Don't take away the surprise. Don't take away the surprise. So then, does it then say that the question of culture, everybody. Actually, across the world, the Maasai culture is celebrated. Being one of them, what would you say about your culture here in Narok County and the entire Maasai land?
Well, the Maasai culture is one of the richest cultures across the globe, because when you go even to international airports, you find Maasai branded pictures are put at the airports. It's an attractive culture, but there has been a feeling that this culture is slowly fading away. And part of these Madaraka Day celebrations theme was to, embrace the culture of the Maasai, and that is why when you see a lot of people in the terrace are dressed in full Maasai regalia. We are waiting if the president will also pull a surprise for Kenyans and put on a Maasai regalia, but it is one of the cultures that is fading away. And if you go like a county like Kajiado, the county assembly formed a task force that will go around all the Maasai counties to find out the diminishing rate of the Maasai culture, so that it is presented before the assembly, and if need be, a budget should be to be put by the Kajiado County Assembly to safeguard this culture that is one of the biggest tourist attraction that is bringing millions or billions of shillings to the Maasai counties.
Very well, Leto. We will be allowing you to go out there, probably dress up in the Maasai regalia, and bring us a few. My cameraman here, James Japicha, we call him Japicha, he's also smiling because he's expecting that Leto will bring him that Maasai shuka as well as the entire attire. Probably will also bring you some, Trevor, as we come back to Nairobi. But as I told you earlier, the situation remains calm here as Kenyans here and elsewhere wait for President Uhuru Kenyatta to arrive here and lead the country in marking 56 years since the country attained itself internal rule. But the question is, what the founders of this country, the forefathers of our nation, aspired to do, the freedom fighters went out there to do. Have we been able to achieve exactly what they wanted? Are we moving forward or are we moving backwards? Those are some of the pertinent questions that I hope Trevor, our guest there, will be able to help us understand or answer whether we have lived to the expectations of our forefathers as a country. Are we moving in the right direction or are we not? And speaking to a few people here, Trevor, they're saying devolution is one of the mainstays of our independence, even after the new constitution. When you speak to quite a number of people here and elsewhere, they tell you some of the things they see, probably they would not have seen them were it not for devolution. And remember, there has been a struggle on the question of the amount of money that should be allocated to county governments. The current struggle between the National Assembly and the Senate on the exact amount of money that should be allocated to county governments. And even the question of how this money, once it is devolved, is being utilized, and whether we are devolving some of the bad manners that we used to see at the national level, including wastage, siphoning of public resources, corruption, and the whole question of integrity. whether devolution is being accompanied by the right ideals in all the 47 counties to ensure that the Mwananchi at the very, very local level is able to make a decision or to be part and parcel of the decision making in terms of the development that they should be able to see in their localities, as well as the general question of management. Some of the pertinent questions that will be emerging as we move on with the question of devolution, even as we hear politicians talk about a referendum to change the constitution. Probably one of the reasons, one of the issues that needs close scrutiny is the question of devolution to ensure that it is implemented in the right way, the right amount of money is devolved to the counties, so that Mwananchi at the very, very local level can be able to feel the benefits, or can be able to accrue the benefits of devolution right at their doorstep. Back to you, Trevor. Once you get another opportunity, please come back to us so that you can be able to sample views from the Narok residents who have made their way here at the Narok Stadium to witness what they expect to be a glamorous fanfare here in terms of the Madaraka Day festivities, Narok County, county number 33. Back to